Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Midday Market Action. This is the place you get your week started, getting ready for the week. My name is Glenn, Senior Stock Market Strategist for VectorVest. Glad to be here. If you can hear me loud and clear, by all means, please respond in the affirmative. I was going to move over, but I see you moving the screen. If you can hear me, please respond in the affirmative, preferably with VV Nation, to let me know that I am coming across loud and clear. I'm waiting for the alert to hit. Hopefully everybody had a good weekend, good start to the week. Well, the market's pulling back a little bit. What's the big news for the week? NVDA. Ryan did a great video, very widely watched last week, over 4,000 views on NVIDIA. And I'm going to follow up tomorrow just before earnings with an NVIDIA video as well. I got my notes. It's going to be a lot involved in that video. And then I will give a price prediction on NVIDIA going forward as well. So everyone who has answered, I appreciate that. Thank you very much. I haven't heard the alert hit yet, but once it does, we will keep out. Huh? Yeah, I set one. I know I set one. NVIDIA and AVGO are in the same group. Good to have them both in your portfolio. You know, I'm of the mindset, Saketu, if you've got a good stock in an industry in your watch list, in your portfolio, you probably, there's the alert just hit, you probably don't need both of them. And if you are going to play two stocks in one industry, I would prefer that you play the ETF. That is my 2 cents in regards to that. All right, that is my regards. Now, if there is a stock that's just rocking and rolling in that industry like an NVIDIA, I would play the NVIDIA. All right, I would play the NVIDIA. That is, you know, Pennywise says I have both NVIDIA and AVGO. And again, the question was asked to me. My suggestion is I'd rather you guys have a diverse portfolio, especially if there's an industry that's hot. God forbid that industry goes down. You'll have two plays that are going down, rather than if you have an ETF in that industry, you'll only have one ETF going down. Hopefully that makes sense to everybody out there. Hopefully that makes sense to everybody. So I can understand if you want to play them both. By all means, do that if that fits right for you. But for many of you out there, I would suggest playing the ETF rather than playing both that are in the same space. So I can see more and more people have come in. We got about 186 people in the room. So we're going to get hot and heavy. The big news again is going to be NVIDIA. Looking at today, the market, you know, a little yellow going across. The MTI, not at a level looking for a top. We're going to talk about a possible top in a second. Glenn couldn't resist on SMCI today. We'll pull back to 50% Fibonacci retrace, a recent rally. I haven't looked at SMCI yet, but that is one of the stocks in the space that's gotten beaten up and just really hasn't had an opportunity, or has had the opportunity but hasn't taken advantage of the opportunity to move up. I'm not a big fan of SMCI. I think there's too many other stocks in the space that are moving that I would rather have you in. And I think long-term in the AI space, SMCI is going to be a good play. I just think it's a tough play right now. SQQQ, Craig, is not a bad play right now, but it's, getting into that. Let's get right into that. I'm hearing, put me in program, Joey, please. I hear that, that people are talking about, today. Today, one day does not make a trend. Everybody knows that I say that, right? Now, talking about a top, we've got a double top right here. Now, possibly a triple top right here. The thing that I'm concerned about this as being in a toppy market is our MTI is at a value of 1.33. So it's not telling me that we're toppy. I think the market has just been on a roll since this major pullback right here. I think the market has just been on a roll. If you look at the days, we've got a lot more up days than we have down days. So it's, it makes sense that we do have some down days recorded in here, but we're strictly in an uptrend. Look at the 3 and the 8, still far apart from each other, not converging. So yes, I see possibly a triple top, which is bearish, going on, but I don't see the MTI alerting me to a toppy market just quite yet. I think today's activity is in anticipation of NVIDIA reporting on Wednesday. You know something? That's going to be a make or break point right there. It really, 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 really is. Now, Brent, I've got so much going on today that I really want to get through. I will not take individual stocks to look at yet. All right, is it too early to feel bad for the market today? Absolutely, it's too early to feel bad for the market today. All right, so, when I look at tracking the market, I'm looking at the VVC, which tracks over 9,000 stocks. I feel that this is a better representation of the broad market move. We are pulling back above this high, this 3-month high. Again, one day does not make a trend. Now, as we get into that, let's talk about what news is moving the market. Let's go change this real quick. So we all pretty much feel that the Fed is going to cut in September. But I've got a couple of stories that, in my mind says, folks, be careful what you ask for. If the Fed eases aggressively, I'm thinking 50 basis points or more, investors should be very worried about inflation. And that's one of the biggest things I've said on more than one occasion. If we start cutting now, the economy is just not terribly bad, not terribly bad. Inflation will become a part of the picture again. Next story, Powell is cutting rates, bull's chair, but reality isn't so neat. The market is fully priced with the potential correction ahead. I favor having more cash, shorting individual stocks via puts and hedging strategies. This is David H. Lerner. I don't know much about him, but I just watched the story. And again, I just say be careful what you guys ask for in regards to the rate cut. And a lot of people are thinking that we're going to have a recession, we're going to have a soft landing. I think we're far beyond a soft landing at this point. Rate cut is already priced in, says Pneumatic. Gold is at an all-time high. Is gold overbought? I don't think so, Ramor. We're going to take a look at this as well. And Ramor also says the market is totally focused on NVIDIA. That's absolutely right. Of course, I don't like talking about oil anymore, but oil is up today. On Libya, halt. Mideast escalation fears. Anybody still trading oil? I am not. I got out of my oil play, got tired of waiting. Oil should have been going up long time ago, but it just had not. It's been another tough play. I am not playing oil. Is anybody in the chat playing oil? Just type a 1 in the room if you're trading oil. I'm not. I think it's been so heavily manipulated. I really have that it's a tough play on oil. Would I buy NVIDIA now? An interesting question, Kiwi. Meow. I do own NVIDIA. I own NVDL. I'm up about 20% on it. I think that based upon my story tomorrow on NVIDIA earnings, I'm going to hold through earnings. All right, so that's my opinion. Would I buy today? NVIDIA is going down today. I probably, me, I'm not going to buy on a down day. But I am going to hold my NVIDIA. Now, if you're getting into NVIDIA, you know what I would do right now? I would play an option trade called a straddle, where I would buy a call and buy a put at the same strike price. I think NVIDIA, no matter what happens, it will move in a big way, one way or the other. If the forward guidance comes in icky, NVIDIA is going to fall and fall hard. If they can get past, and that's going to be my biggest thing, if they can get past revenue, all right, and forward guidance, I think that NVIDIA goes up. You want to know how much, though? Watch tomorrow's video. All right, next one. Stocks most loved and shunned, hedge, and mutual funds. This is an interesting story. Would I buy a call spread? Michael, that's only if you're bullish on NVIDIA. All right, if you're on, you're not 100% sure, then I would play the straddle. But if you are, all in, like I am on NVIDIA from the standpoint I think it's a bullish play, then a call spread would work very well. But you got to understand, it's got to work to the upside rather than if I played a straddle, it can go either way and I could still make money on the trade. Now, this story here is interesting. Because we all know that hedge funds and mutual funds pretty much are the big players in the market. Not us. It's them. So I looked at this story. Those that shared favorite stocks out of hedge funds and mutual funds, CRH, Progressive, which I think is a beautiful, if you look at that stock is killing it. Visa, interesting. Fiserv, Uber, Workday, MasterCard, two credit cards in here, and UNH. Always, no matter what you're playing in the market, you should always have a healthcare play. You should always have a healthcare play. Scrolling down, those that are shunned, Look at this. Tesla, Intel, which I understand. Intel has not been a good play. It was one of my top picks for 2024. It has not worked out well. Moderna, because Mpox is out, Moderna may be a good play. Chevron or Moderna, it could be a good play, but it's being shunned, and Chevron is an oil play. The stock hedge funds like, but mutual funds underweight. So hedge funds like Apple. That makes sense. Apple, Amazon, Google, Meta, a lot of the Magnificent Seven, Microsoft, NVDA, Berkshire, JP Morgan, GE, Eli Lilly, which I think is a very good medical play in AVGO. Now, another one, stocks are concentrated hedge fund shorts, but where mutual funds are overweight. So the hedge funds are shorting these, but the mutual funds are playing these. Cencor, Marvel, Dell, interesting on Dell, Target, and eBay. So this was just a quick story about stocks and how the hedge funds, the people that move stocks, how the hedge funds and the mutual funds are playing them. So I didn't look at all of these stocks in my list today, but this was, how many of you found this useful? How many of you found this useful? Just type a 1 in the room. I found this as an interesting story, looking at a lot of different stocks and what the big players are doing and how they're looking at these stocks. That was all the purpose of this. That was nothing more, nothing less, just to give you a sense of what the big boys are doing and how they feel about these stocks. Excellent. Again, I love bringing some new stuff to the fray, just so that you guys can keep your eyes on. All right, now Bitcoin is on the move. Look at this. Spot Bitcoin ETFs continue a positive streak. Ether logs slight outflows. Now it's interesting as I look at this we still don't. I think we only have a couple of the spot ETFs for Ether, but in Bitcoin ETF space. Like GBTC, I'm going to actually look at iBit and BITO, estimates the gross flows reached 93 million. The figure shows a solid uptick after a slower activity the previous day as investors scrambled to accumulate the original cryptocurrency under 60,000. I think once it breaks above 60,000, crypto will have another run. We'll see. Another story, spot Bitcoin ETFs garner the highest net inflows since July after Powell nods to rate cuts. So the whole idea about this is I'm not a big fan of crypto. You know I'm not, but I want to give you the opportunities to make money. Ramor says, Glenn, I like your assessment on Snow and Palantir. I still think in regards to Snow gets a lot more love than Palantir. I don't understand why, but Palantir is so much of a stronger play than Snow. So, all right, and one more. Nearly half of 2024 corporate election spending comes from crypto firms. So I've got Coinbase in here. Coinbase spends $50 million. So 3 stories on the move possible on crypto. I think if crypto can get above the value of 60,000, I think crypto has another chance to run. So we're going to look at some crypto. This is a heartbreaking story for me. All right. New Boeing CEO faces hard choices after NASA snubs Starliner for SpaceX. So now this is a big hit for Boeing. I thought it was going to be a big uptick for Boeing once they put the people in the Starliner to send them up to the International Space Station. It looked like it was supposed to have been an 8-day thing, but it reminds me of Gilligan's Island. They went out on the boat for a 3-hour tour and then got stuck on an island. I feel that these astronauts got an 8-day space time. Now it's going to turn into about 8 months or so. SpaceX. Now Boeing's got to go to the competition to get them back home. All right, so somebody said my stories are blurry. You may have to, Charles, you may need to reset your resolution. Joey, can you type it in the room how you can do that? I do like the new CEO, Glenn. He's an aeronautic engineer. And you know something? He should be in there now. The Boeing CEO hasn't left. He's supposed to be leaving at the end of the year. Anyway, I think that I'm with you that the new CEO is going to have a good direction to put Boeing back on the straight and narrow. We'll see what happens. Marianne was my favorite. I'm not getting into that. I'm not getting, because y'all going to try to get me into some trouble. Don't even see. Stop talking about Ginger and Mary Ann and Mrs. Howell. Got to put my chair back up. Don't be getting into that. Don't be getting into that. All right, so Gravity calls Sandra Bullock. I'm not getting into that. Boeing CEO is an ex-Rockwell Collins guy. I work Rockwell Automation. There you go. All right, so did you already talk about PDD? Nope, not yet. That's coming up in a second. Chinese tech giants continue to splurge on AI. Everybody is putting money into AI, which I think is going to bode well for NVIDIA going into Wednesday. But everybody is getting into it. And AI, they're doing it despite the U.S. chip restrictions. They don't give a flying flip. They're going to do what they got to do. So with that being said, there was another story. Oh, no. All right, anyway. Canada announces tariffs on electric vehicles made in China. Everybody's doing that now. I think that's going to bode well for Tesla going forward. Just not yet. I think it's going to help Tesla going forward. This is another big story. Volt Mobility enters a $210 million contract with Mullen. I'm wondering if this could be a boost to the EV space. We're going to take a look at it. To purchase 3,000 Class 1 and Class 3 EV cargo vans and trucks. So Mullen was on the move today. There's Pinduoduo. Pinduoduo Holdings slump after warning of revenue pressure. This is, I think, the big story when it comes down to every major company. And Pinduoduo owns Alibaba, right? Pinduoduo owns Alibaba. This is the online retailer, and they own the online retailer of Alibaba, which should be affected by this as well. But revenue was up 86% for the quarter that ended in June to $13.6 billion, but missed the consensus estimate by about $610 million. Folks, that's a lot of money. And they missed it by $610 million, and they got hit. They got hit. It could, but Mullen is in really bad financial shape. So penny-wise, this story could be a short move for Mullen. I don't have a lot of faith in EVs right now because major car manufacturers are having a hard time selling EVs. And one more story is on the earnings for this week. And you notice, there it is, NVIDIA, CrowdStrike, but Best Buy, a lot of companies, a lot of big name companies are reporting earnings this week. All right, let's get back into the software. And those are the stories that are moving the markets today. Interesting, I was, because I wasn't doing the Jockey Club this morning, I was day trading some stocks. I want to just show you the stocks that I was looking at this morning. Intraday, 5-minute bars, current day. These are the stocks. I was looking at Mullen when it first came out at the market open. I did try to play it, and then I got out of it. I wasn't very good at playing Mullen this morning. I've already got NVIDIA, but I wanted to track it. A little hit on NVIDIA this morning, but leveling out. Look at the pinch on Star Search. I like that. I think that NVIDIA will be a little tippet going into earnings on Wednesday. I still own it. I'm still bullish on it. Peloton, nice move this morning. I made a little bit of money day trading Peloton this morning, but as the market fell, so did Peloton. Meta got smoked like nobody's business this morning. Look at that big move to the downside. Now moving sideways. Let's go see if the market's going to have an opportunity to try to pull it back. Tesla, there it is again. Big move to the downside on Tesla, now leveling out. These were, just so that you know, these were stocks that I was looking at this morning that made big moves, whether to the upside, to the downside, to day trade. I just wanted you to get a glimpse as to some of the things that I was looking at this market, looking at this morning from a day trade perspective. So I didn't know if you really wanted to see that or not, but I just wanted to show you that. All right, let's go to the viewers tab. The indices, we got a mixed market today. The IWM is up about 0.25%. The VIX, we got some fear in the market today, running at about 435 up, but still below 20. What's down big is the Qs. Today would be a good day to hold SQQQ for the day because of the down day. Nice move to the downside. Today would not be a bad day to trade SQQQ, but I probably wouldn't hold it past today. I probably wouldn't have. Oh, look at that. Kiwi Meow says, thank you for sharing your day trades, Glenn. Hey, on Mondays, when I do this 12 o'clock live stream. Do you guys want to see some of the stocks that I'm looking at in the morning on Monday, just to get an idea of what goes through my mind from a day trade perspective? Type a 1 in the room. All right? Because if not, I won't show it anymore. But I just thought that it was interesting on stocks that I was looking at when I'm not live or when I'm not on the Jockey Club. I just want, I'm curious to know if you're interested. And it looks like you are. Excellent. So on Mondays, I will be showing you the trades that I'm looking at, whether good, bad, or indifferent, just so it'd be interesting to know that if you guys were looking at some of the same stuff. Yes, and where are you finding stocks to day trade? Kevin, I will show you something. If we go to the Unisearch tool, I am going to go to something called Searches Price Volume. And I actually got this more so listening to Ryan than not. Look at the most active gainers. All right, in the software, I look at the most active gainers, and they're sorted by volume. If I'm going to try to day trade, I want to find stocks that are moving. Look at that, SQQQ. I like to find stocks that are moving, but on big volume. All right, that are moving on big volume. This is where I look. And interesting that not only was Mullen on the move today off of news, Lucid was on the move off of news. Piton, remember, that was a stock that I was looking at day trading this morning. But I think that this is a great place for those of you who are day trading. Look at the most active gainers. You know that these stocks are moving up on volume. Volume is conviction, right? But now go look at the news behind it to see if they are moving on news. Do you like the news? And then graph the stocks. This is where I try to find my day trades. And I don't do this enough in the Jockey Club, which I might start trying to do. But remember, if I'm looking here, I'm strictly looking for day trades. Most likely, these are not stocks that I want to hold for the long term. Does everybody in the room understand that? Yes or no? All right, when I'm looking at this prior to the market open or as the market is opening, what I'm looking for here is day trades. I need everybody to understand that because I don't want anybody to start running this and start thinking, oh man, these are day trades. And if you're not a day trader, then I'm not going to tell you to run this search. This ain't for you. These are for stocks that are moving up on big volume, and then I want to find out why, and then I want to track them as the market is opening. How about fib retracements? Can you do it on NVDA? We can do that today. I'll do that. I don't use fib retracements. Something? There's so many technical indicators out there. I've honed in on the ones that I like the most that fit my investment style. Fibs are not one of them. But when we go look at NVIDIA, we'll look at fib retracements today. All right. That was a great question in regards to the day trades. All right, big news stocks. Here's all of the stocks that made the news. There's Pinduo. Duo was down as much as 30%. And then Mullen, on the other hand, up about 50%. You can see the spectrum of the movements of the stocks today. Oil is up. Look at that, 2.82%. Baidu, interesting, is a Chinese stock, up about 0.8%. But as I looked at, and I'm going to actually put in here as well, I want to put in, not Barrick, GLD. Someone was talking about gold. Where's gold today? Look at that. Up about 0.2%. I want to look at that because people are saying, well, gold is on the move. Let's go view the stock graph of GLD on a 3-month graph. There it is. Gold is on the move. Now, I wouldn't play GLD only because it's gappy. I don't like gappy stocks. So I would look at something like the Huey or something else that plays the industry, but there's no ifs, ands, or buts. Gold is in the fast lane, but I also want you to look at something else. All right, I'm in a little bit of a channel as well. Look at that on gold. So I'd be careful with gold unless it can break out of that 3-month high that it's currently in. Gold has been in the fast lane. So with that being said, I don't know if I would put on a new gold position right now. I do want to look at the dollar. Where's the dollar? The dollar on a 3-month graph. If the dollar is falling, that's good for gold. There's the 3-month graph and the dollar is falling. That should be good for gold. How many of you are trading gold? Type of 1. How many of you are trading gold? Type of 1. The dollar is falling. This is on a 3-month graph. This should be good for gold stocks. How many of you are trading gold right now? Type a 1 in the chat, because, you know, something I'm not going to tell you not to. I'm not going to tell you not to. I'd like to see it do just a little bit more to give me more confidence to get into gold. But if you're in it, I'm not mad at you. Not even a little bit. Harmony is a good play, Ron. If you're going to play gold, Harmony is a darn good play. I'm all on board with that. What's your go-to indicator if you don't use fibs? For me, I'm all about moving averages. I like the 3 and the 8. I'm going to talk a little bit about that on NVDA tomorrow as well, Michael. Depending on how you invest in the market, I'm going to show you if you need to be in NVIDIA or not prior to earnings. There's going to be a lot incorporated in tomorrow's video. You need to watch it. And, you know, I like MACD from the standpoint of the bullishness on a trade, but then I'm getting into the DPOs. I like the DPOs because I like the star search. I like to see how fully bullish or not, and I like the idea that we use 2 different DPOs on the star search. Harmony in the middle lane and skidding. So again, Harmony is a good play overall. Janice, I would pick and choose which ones I like, but I think Harmony as a whole is a good play. Glenn, take a look at the mining gold silver industry group. I can do that real quick. Let's go to the industry viewer, mining gold silver. Let's go find that real quick. I love that. You know, with VectorVest, if you want to go look at an industry, it is just a click of a couple of clicks of the mouse. I sorted all of the industries alphabetically. So I'm going to go find mining. Scroll through. We got 222 industries. Let's go find mining, HIJKLLHI, mining gold silver. There it is. You notice out of all of the industries, out of the 222 industries, mining gold silver is, where is it? RT ranking. Oh, there it is. It's 155. That's another reason why I'm not full on board with gold. You understand that? Does that make sense to some of you? It's out of 222 industries. It is number 155. Now, does that change any of you idea about mining gold silver? Yes or no? Interested to know. Now that you know that by way of the VectorVest software, does that change anybody's mind in regard if you're trading gold or not? Yes or no? Very interested to see. So you understand, you get a better understanding of why I'm not full on board with gold just yet. But many of you are. Lee is the only person that said no. I'm just interested. All right, I'm just interested. Not really? All right, that's fine. And again, it's just a question. I ain't judging. And I'm not berating anybody. I'm just curious to know if you know where the industry is. Does that make any difference to you? Let's go look at the industry group. Remember, this is the whole industry, 3-month graph. And you know something interesting? Mining gold silver in the fast lane, but look at this. Oh, look at this here. Does that change anybody's mind in regards to gold, silver, yes or no? That's an interesting picture. Not my statement of, well, I don't know. That's the industry. That's the industry. So I'm just interested. I'm just putting it out there, and it's in a channel, but it's trending off of that high. And it's still in the fast lane, though. Very interesting. Lee, I like it. Lee, I like that you're standing steadfast and saying, oh, no. I'm all right with that. I'm all right with that. Yeah, you're right. It is in the fast lane, Lee, but it's trending off that 3-month high to the downside. Interesting. You know what else is interesting? Ooh-wee. Look at that there. We got a little bit of a wedge forming right there, which means it's going to break one way or the other. We'll see. All right, so I just put that out there. Gold, part of long-term holdings. Ritman, I'm all right with that. I'm just putting that out there. You wanted me to look at the industry. One, we now know where it stands out of 222. And number two, the industry is pulling a little bit off the high. Again, I am not trying to change none of y'all's minds. I just want you to see what you're looking at. That's all. All right, and it could be a setup for a breakout. Saketo, you're absolutely right. All right. Love those. See, I love listening and answering your questions on the fly. I really, 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 really do. All right, let's go back to where we were. Earnings this week. Here's all of the stocks that have earnings this week. Of course, NVDA is going to be up there. It's probably going to be one of the top stocks in here, and it's number one. It's number one because what does that mean? It's got the highest VST in the list, all right, by far. CRM, Abercrombie and Fitch. Joey hates the way I say it because I say it wrong. I don't care, Joey. Some of the stocks that I'd be concerned about, Chewy's at the bottom, looking at relative safety. Bath and Body, below one on relative safety. Which companies are going to have the higher probability of beating? NVIDIA is at the top of the list again, sorting it by relative safety. All right, sorting it by relative safety, I like the play. It's fundamentally sound. And at the bottom of the list, again, Chewy, Kohl's reports. Look at that. It's got good upside, but the safety's below one and it's a sell. Affirm, yeah. So I like being able to put these stocks from that list into a watch list and using our indicators to help us to make, let's go look at the stocks that have the best earnings growth. Ooh, out of the list. What's up there? NVIDIA. All right, NVIDIA is up there. What's at the bottom of the list? Man, Kohl's negative. Dollar General negative. This is why I like looking at the earnings coming out this week by way of VectorVest, folks. Crowd also has earnings. Crowd is in here, isn't it? Yeah, it is. There it is. Fundamentally sound, but it's a sell. It's gotten hit. You know why? It was because of that update. It was because of that update, and, so they still is feeling the effect. Michael says, this is great, chap. Hope you keep doing these. Michael, I do this every Monday. I have these vibes every Monday to get you guys ready for the week. Michael, if this is your first time here and you're new to the channel, please hit the subscribe button. Hit the subscribe button and the bell icon so that you'll be alerted. But every Monday, I try to get you guys started off on the week right here. All right, John says, thank you, Glenn. You make the trends run on time, even though Joey says you're not an engineer. What does that mean? Okay, I don't know. I don't know what that means. I don't know if that's was that a compliment or not? I don't know. Delta is done. Delta is not done with Crowd. Big lawsuit. I know. So CrowdStrike is reporting. I'm thinking that those things may have a negative effect on CrowdStrike going forward. All right, so just keep that in mind. The 28th will be an important day for the market and for me. Is it your birthday, Ramor? Tell me, is it your birthday? Is it your birthday? Is it? All right. So what else is in the list today? Where's the money going today? Can you please check Zoom? Yep. Narav, I will give you an opportunity. I'm not going to do it yet. Robert said he bought more NVDL this morning. I didn't buy more. I got mine. I'm bullish on it, but I didn't go buy more. Crowd's guidance will be interesting in any additional fallout. I agree with that, Pennywise. No, unfortunately, Glenn. Okay. All right, I got you. You just said it was an important day. All right, where's the money going today? On a day that's a mixed market, the money is going to oil. Oil and natural gas. Natural gas to the downside. That's cold. That's KOLD playing natural gas to the downside. China, bullish on, no, that's the bearish on China. Oil, uranium is up today. Copper, looks like a couple of different commodities are up today, which is interesting. Utilities, where to stay away from today? The bullish side of China, right? And the bullish side of natural gas. The Qs, GDX, gold, not today. So I like showing you this as well. This is like what I call my little heat map of what's going on in the world by way of where's the money going. I think that that's important. All right, I do, because we are still more bullish than not. One day is not a trend. Here's my fish for you today. NPI, one day optionable. Even on a mixed day, these are stocks that are moving. Be careful with this one. IVVD, most likely, that's probably, where did it go? Oh, it's on my here. 18%, what's the news on it 2 months ago? I don't know. There's no specific news that's making it move. 4 months ago, 11 days ago. I'm not sure what's moving this stock today unless I did a little bit more research. But if I go to the MPI graph, all of these stocks meet the criteria. They're all buys or holds. Every single one of them have an RV above 1, so they have good upside potential. The majority of them are in an uptrend. I would pay attention to the stocks in this list that meet the MPI that are fundamentally sound in uptrends, like VSEC, BX, AIT. Those are 3 that I like. It's because they are fundamentally sound with relative value and relative safety being above 1 and are in uptrends. Then we got the enhanced MPI, more fish. Let's go take a look at them. I look at them the same way. These are all fundamentally sound. These are all fundamentally sound. Only one is not going up in price, and that's Chipotle. Look at the earnings growth on these. So I do, people always say, why don't you look at the MPI or the 3.8 anymore? I have 3 go-to graph layouts that I look at. Star Search, the MPI, and the 3.8. Those are my technical graphs that I look at when I make a decision about a stock. Michael says, can we talk about the portfolio protection, let's say, on $500,000 of invested assets? So I'm always going to be on the side of Jim Penna, who's our manager of retirement. If you're going to protect the portfolio, I'd put a collar on the portfolio, or I'd buy a protective put. I'd buy a protective put on an indice. Or I would buy a protective put on each stock, whichever. If you're going to do that, though, you're going to spend money on each protective put, whereas I can collar the portfolio or buy one big put on protective put on like the Qs or something like that. That's what I would look for, or I'd put a collar on it. Or on the individual stocks, I would sell a covered call on each one. All right, that's several different ways to protect a portfolio. The collar is the main way to protect a whole portfolio, but buying a protective put or selling a covered call on individual positions is another way to go. All right, Glenn, I purchased a position on 3 penny stocks you put out Thursday. I'm up 17%. Thanks, man. Wow, I love that. Hey, another question real quick. How many of you have made money off of some of the picks that I put out there? Type a 1 in the room. All right, how many of you have made money on, as I do any live stream, I do insight, I give the research. I try to, I'm not trying to make anybody buy anything. I just want to do my due diligence in letting you know what I'm looking at in analyzing stocks. I love this. Anybody who's new in the room, take a look at the chat for me. Everybody who's brand new in the room, take a look at the chat for me. And if you haven't already, please think about subscribing to the channel. All right, just do that for me. Craig says, that's why I keep coming back. I love that. Again, that chat right there is for the people. If this is your first time or you're brand new to the channel, consider hitting the subscribe button. All right, so these are fish that I'm giving you for the week. Weekly customer picks, I'm not there yet. Good, it's empty. I do have some solid picks. I do have the video coming out tonight, my top weekly picks. Make sure you check that out. I want to show you something. In regards to that, if you don't watch my top weekly picks, I want to show you something. My top 5 weekly picks, this is from 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago, nice move up. I hadn't been watching it the way that I should have. This portfolio was actually up about almost 30%. I gave all of that back because I wasn't managing it the way that I should have. But these are stocks from 2 weeks ago that still haven't met my stop criteria. If you're not watching the Monday night video where I give you my top 5 weekly picks, you should be. All right, I'm going to get this back up. But just to let you know, this is from 2 weeks ago. Every stock that I gave 2 weeks ago is up, with PGR up almost 9%, NRG up about 6.5%. If you are not watching the Monday videos, I invite you to do so. There's going to be one wow, look at that. Woo, CB just gave us a $10 super chat. Type a 1 in the room. Let's appreciate that. Thank you so much for that, CB. And CB, you need to give me a stock right now. You need to give me a stock right now that you want me to take a look at. I'll take a look at. I'm not ready to look at stocks yet, but because you gave a super chat, my friend, I will look at your stock right now. I will look at your stock. So CB, as soon as I see it, I'll go look at it for you, all right? But that's a $10 super chat, folks. I appreciate that in a big way, and all the ones coming across. NRG is a great call. Remember, that was 2 weeks ago. Tonight, I will have new picks for you. CB says BLK. Let's go check that out real quick. BLK. Is that BlackRock? It is. Let's go take a look at this on a 3-month graph real quick. I like the play. Bottom left, top right. In the fast lane, coming off a level. And notice that the level of support sitting here at 852 is right in between the fast lane and the middle lane. I would play the level of support rather than coming out into the middle lane. If it comes to the middle lane, it does have a level of support. I like today's activity, but I don't like the wick at the top of the bar. Because it's bigger than the bar. That's a bearish sign for me. It's got a little bit more selling pressure, but it's still in the fast lane. So by that, if you own it, I'm not telling you to get rid of it, but I'm going to tell you to keep your eyes on it. And you do have a stop level. I'm going to give you a hard line in the sand if you are trading it to the level of 852.82. I would give it to that level of support before you pull the trigger on it. Now, with that being said, if it moves to the middle lane, I might think about taking half off the table. And then if it breaks below this level of support, take the rest off. Does that make sense, CB? Does that make sense? I like that it's moving from the bottom left to the top right. Capitulating a little bit right now. I love that it hit a new 3-month high. I don't like the wick at the top of the candle. But if it moves into the middle lane, I would think about taking half off the table. You probably got locked in a good little piece of profit right there. And if it falls below this level of support, I'd probably take it all off. CB, does that make sense? Hopefully that does. That's a good looking pick. But that's my analysis if you own it. All right, let's go back to the viewers tab. I didn't bring out any low dollar picks today. Live stream portfolio I did look at. Again, this is why I need you guys to watch the Monday video. I'm going to have 5 new stocks for you. I'm not going to add them to the portfolio because these stocks are still doing the darn thing. And I want to show you something in regards to that as well. How do I manage these? I have to have VectorVest to manage them the way that I do. Because these stocks are such good freaking stocks, I'm using the stop that if RT goes below 1, it closes out. That tells me that the stock is no longer in an uptrend. That's what I'm looking for. Look at the RTs on these stocks. No matter what the market has gone through for the last 2 weeks, these stocks are still in uptrends. All right? You want to see new stocks for the week, make sure you check in to tonight's video. Joey, do you see that? I'm just bringing that to your attention. Do you see that? Yes or no? That's a nice little, you guys are showing out today for us. I appreciate this. I'm going to type a 1 for all of you guys. Because you guys got us almost up to 300 people in the room. That's big for us. Thank you so much for showing out today. That just goes to show that you appreciate what we do, and I appreciate that. All right. Let's go back to the viewers. We're almost done. Star search plays. Oh, I didn't give any new star search plays, and I have no theme for this week. All right. Now this gives me the opportunity to look at your stocks. First stock I'm going to put in today is going to be NVDA. All right. And before, let's go take your stocks. All right. How many likes? We got 77. You know I'm still going to give you 10 stocks. All right. You know I'm going to still give you 10 stocks. TPC, LAES. Zeta, Lulu, that's earnings coming up this week. RKT, BRFH, WDAY, WD, what is it? Work, WD, what the flying flip is Workday? Why want to come up? All right, WDA, there it is. That's what I thought. WDAY. How many stocks is that? Got to go back up in the list. I know Zoom was one. I know I jumped down the list, but something tells me you're new. I want to make sure I get your stock in there. Let's go see who else is new. Brent, ACMR. I'm going to look at some stocks for new people in here. Who else is new? Pneumatic, I know. Lugu. I hope I said that right. HIG. I'm gonna put that in there. I want to highlight the new people that are here. Some of the new people that are here. Just looking. All right, I wanted to highlight some of the new people that were here. Vive, JG, I'm gonna put it in there anyway. VEEV, and Deborah, you just got here. Well, Deborah took away her stock, and that's that. All right, Kiwi Meow is not new. She knows that she's not new. But I did look at a lot of regular people's stocks in here today too. All right, listen. I think that sometimes, especially if we got people that are here that are thinking about signing up to the channel, I want to make sure that we take a look at them as well. All right, so with that, I gave you 12 stocks today. The best stock in the list, by way of our master indicator, VST is at the top of the list. NVDA, LAES is at the bottom of the list. We do have a sell in here, ACMR. Always remember that if you're looking at the VectorVest system, if you got a stock that's got to sell, folks, it's got to sell for a reason. All right, it's got to sell for a reason. So just keep that in mind. Deborah, holy smokes, GPTRF. Goodness gracious, that's a lot of letters. I put that up in there, Deborah. All right, and that's now right at the bottom, right next to LAES. I'm going to view these a little differently. Let's go set this up as if you were brand new to the VectorVest system. If you were brand new to the VectorVest system, and what you would see. Now, the biggest, wow, I'm going to put this on 1 year graph. The biggest thing that I'd like to look at is when I look at a stock, if you're brand new to VectorVest, and why you should even consider looking at VectorVest. Our idea is to have you in safe, undervalued stocks that are rising in price in a rising market. All right. I'm looking at this stock, bottom left, top right. Little hit. That happened to a lot of the stocks that are in the same space, especially after the split, right? But the stock is on the rise. It is a buy recommendation. I love the earnings per share. I want to be in stocks that are in rising earnings. I like the move. Notice the downtrend that was here. We've now broken through the downtrend, so we've now a new uptrend in play. Right now, a little bit of sideways move. Again, that's prior to earnings. I think that that's what's going to happen. Somebody wanted me to look at the Fibonacci retracement on the stock. And which one do I want? I want from the low to the high. Let's go from the low to the high. And let's go put this on a 6-month graph. There's the fib, 38.2. Man, this stock still has. Did I draw this wrong? I might have drawn it wrong. I might have. Let's go do it the other way. Fibonacci from the high to the low. All right, let's draw it from the high to the low. There we go. That's much good or better. Right there. Interesting on the fib. I don't know. There's the point. I don't know. From the fib. I don't know enough about fibs, but the fib is here. The fib is. NVDA chart doesn't look that good to me. It looks broken like SMCI. SMCI has not responded and moved back up nearly as much as NVIDIA has. All right, just real quick, let's go look at SMCI. NVIDIA looks much better. Let's go put some 3-month graph. Yeah, NVIDIA looks much better. I don't think it's nearly as broken as SMCI. You notice that how NVIDIA, I'll put this back on again, how NVIDIA on the 3-month graph, look at them, that's more of a response with the move to the upside than SMCI. All right, so I just put that out there. All right, let's go on HIG. Beautiful play. Beautiful play. Bottom left, top right, new high. Would I buy today? Not with the wick the way it is. Would I tell you to take some off the table? Absolutely. Absolutely. I would tell you to take some off the table. I love the earnings. I wouldn't totally get out of it, though. And I want to see, is this it is undervalued, too. Goodness gracious. I would ring the bell. Ding, 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 ding. This is a good play. Let's go to the next one. Woo, same thing with Rocket Labs. Rocket costs. All right. Now, the thing about this is that it's overvalued, but bottom left, top right, love the earnings per share. Love the earnings per share. I like this play. I'd ring the bell on this. What is your opinion on Trump Media Technology Group? I got no opinion. I haven't looked at it. So I don't know, and I don't want to give you an answer, Barbecue, unless I have an answer. All right. Amir says, "Thank you, Jeff. Can't ask Glenn. He will kill me." I would kill you. Not in a bad way, though. But SMCI, Amir, I hope we've shown you more and more times again that it may not be the best play. I'd rather have you in like an AMD, NVDA, something else, So hopefully that makes sense. Let's go to the next one. TPC, bottom left, top right, a big hit, faded the gap. That's a bullish sign. Earnings back on the rise after taking the dip. I like the fading of the gap. Went from a sell to a hold, back to a buy. I'd like to see it take out this level, fully fade the gap. I'd really like to see it take out that 28.39 space, but I like the move on the stock. I do like the move on the stock. Trump Media seems to be going down every day. I've got insight on that I'm not going to get involved in because I don't like to be political on this. I missed on Kava big time. Kava is moving up. I'm not a fan of Kava. That's all I got to say. But the stock is moving. I can't deny that. Workday, a little bit more choppy in the move. I do like the rising earnings. I don't like price action. I can clearly see that from the high, look at that. Now, there's a positive sign to that. It's broken through that. That's probably news-driven right there. All right, that's probably news-driven right there, but gaps like to be filled. I'd be careful. With that, but I do like the rising earnings. Earnings per share, I'd be careful with Workday. Glenn, what is your insight? Is it anything to do with Twitter? No, I'm not giving my insight. I just told you I wasn't giving you my insight. I just said that, Akshaya, sigh. You be trying to get stuff out of me. I know you do. Good potential bottom fish today on Workday. I was right on it. I don't know. Here's the bottom. That's just a jump. Again, all I do really like is the earnings. I do like that it broke through that level of the downtrend. Other much than that, I got no real follow through today. Zoom. This had to be an earnings play or something. Yep. Nice move up. I do like that. I do like that the downtrend has been broken here as well. Is it enough? Is the earnings play enough? I do like that it's starting to move up. This might not be a bad play, at least up to this level of the high. The high I've got on the 3-month graph sitting at 75.90. I like that. And it might still have, I'd love the earnings too. The earnings is good. Yeah, I like the play here. I'd be careful with it, though. Next one. Lululemon, retail, coming off support. Breaking through the downtrend again. I wouldn't mind taking a little piece of that. All right, what did Pennywise say? DJ's last couple of earnings reports were about Lord. I told you I'm not getting into that. Stop making me try to get into that. All right. Lululemon, I will be willing to take a little piece of that. Especially because earnings is up. I'd like RT to go above 1, though. All right. Next one. Man, Vive. And this is why we like to look at this generic graph. Man, it really tells a story. All the stocks that you're interested in, it tells a story. If the graph ain't pretty, you got to know that you're in more of a riskier stock. Does that make sense looking at this graph? Yes or no? For all the stocks that you gave me, does that make sense? Yes or no? That by using the VectorVest graph, it does give you a picture of just how risky your stocks are. You saw the first 2 stocks that we looked at that look great. I'm all on board with those. Now, some of these stocks are possibly starting to move up. I like that the stock is moving up, broke through a level of swing high. But you know something? You notice what I'm doing? I'm talking myself into the trade. Do you really want to do that? Now, if you got the news, you know, I love the earnings on this. Earnings is the engine that drives the stock's price higher. Could it have some more upside? Possibly. Possibly. But I wouldn't be surprised if it comes back down and tests this level of support. SMCI is a long-term play, is a stock. I still think it's a good stock. It's just a tough stock to be in. It's just a tough stock to be in, Amir. All right. What else? Ugh. ACMR, I'm not feeling that. And it's not like, Glenn, I don't like that stock. Look at the graph. It is undervalued. I like that. After earnings, it popped, and then since then, it's starting to pull back. It is undervalued. The stock doesn't look pretty. The stock's got to show me something. To be honest, I'll put VEV on my list. There you go. All right. The trade should be obvious, not maybe. Absolutely, Ramor. What was that statement that you made? Somebody made a statement. Dang it. I forgot. It was going to be like the statement of the year. I wrote it down. So what was, Joey, do you remember what that statement was? Somebody made it a cool statement. I don't know if Joey remembered. Oh, did he put it in our chat? I think he might have put it in our chat. In a meeting. I forgot what the statement was. I don't know. Oh yeah, don't trade with the chart, not your heart. There it is. Follow the chart. Not put that in the chat, Joey, so I don't lose that. Follow the chart, not the heart. You guys listen. Joey doesn't even listen. Side. Oh, I didn't know it, but you were supposed to know it. You're my backup guy. You're supposed to know that. You're supposed to know that. Trade. Can you put that in our chat? Trade the chart, not your heart. Whew. Joey, what else? I got nothing. I'm like Whitney Houston. I got nothing. All right. ACMR, I'm not a fan of. I do like the earnings, but the price action is not coming to me. It is a good saying, Ramor. I believe that the story is in the graph. My favorite statement from you, Dr. Glenn. Did I say that? Man, sometimes I'm more prophetic than I thought. See, there you go. That's what you look for. That's it right there. That's the power of looking at a VectorVest graph. Bottom left, top right. It is overvalued. Where's the earnings? Earnings is negative, but becoming less negative. They're getting better at making money. They're getting better at making money. I like that play. I cannot lie. Pennywise says, agreed. Follow the chart, not your heart. Lots of Intel and space bag holders. Yeah, I was thinking too much with their hearts. I know. I was in AMCI. I'm not feeling AMCR. Zeta, I like. Zeta is beta. Is beta? Beta. BRFH. That's a pattern. That's a flag pattern. Somebody back me up on that. I think that's a flag pattern. It's not a good one. Somebody back me up on that. That's a flag. Oh, wait. Or is that a bullish sign? Is that a bullish flag pattern? Yes or no? Somebody back me up on that. Is that a bullish flag pattern? Yes or no? Just yes or no. Because if you say yes, I know what the upside should be from this level of support. It is. All right. If this is a bullish one, I'm going to tell you what the upside is. Ooh, I'm going to do some math real quick. What's the high? The high is, come on, what's the high? 461. 461. What's this low point right here? Close price 146. Wow, this has got some good upside. So what's the difference between, I'll show you how much upside it should have. All right, I got to do a calculator. $4.61 minus $1.46. It should have a $3.15 move to the upside from this level of support. So from this level of 327, you know something? This is telling me that this stock's got 100% move upside. Ooh-wee. All right, you heard it here. Let's see if that plays out. Let's just, hey, I just need you all to now pay attention to BRFH. Put it in your watch list. I just gave a price prediction. I don't think I did it right, but I just did a price prediction on it. I think that the price move to the upside is supposed to be the length of the flagpole, which is from the high to that low. I think I did that right. But if that's the case, this is telling me that it should have 100. And if it does, you know where you heard it here first. And if it doesn't, forget that I ever said it. All right, we got a deal? Just type the word deal. If it moves up, man, your Uncle Glenn is smart. If it doesn't work out, you ain't never heard it from me. If we got a deal, just put a deal, just type deal in the room. All right, if we got a deal, just type a deal in the room. Okay. Thank you, Jazz. I appreciate that. All right, any other stocks in here? Yeah, deal. All right, if it works, Uncle Glenn is smart. If it doesn't, you ain't heard it from me. I'm not touching this stock. I'm not. This is a 1-year graph. This is a 1-year. No. It's a no. There's nothing I like about this stock. There's nothing. You agree? Just type the word agree or type the word trade if you like it. Type the word agree or type the word trade if you like it. I'm not feeling that. This is a 1-year graph. This is a 1-year graph. I'm not touching this at all. It's never had a buy recommendation for the whole year. For the whole year. I'm not touching it. All right? But if you know something that I don't know, that's up to you. If you know something that I don't know, it's up to you. GPTRF is cousins with XROF. They both have 5 letters. Could be. And the last stock in the list, oof. No. I like the bounce off support. If I'm trading it, no. Look at the earnings per share. And again, this is another 1-year graph. Look at the earnings per share. Folks, if you're going to trade a stock, if you're going to look at possibly trading a stock, you need rising earnings. Earnings is the engine that drives the stock's price higher. Glenn, who will win North Carolina? Why are you asking me that? Akshay, I'm ignoring you right now. Every question that you ask that's political, I'm letting you know that I'm ignoring you right now. Now, if you ask me a market-related question, I'll answer it. Can you add like 5 more symbols? No, I'm right at 101. So no, I'm not gonna add any more trades. I'm not gonna add any more trades. I'm right at 1 minute over, so Joey can't get mad at me. Joey can't get mad at me. All right. Yeah, why are you gonna don't be getting mad at me. You got no right to get mad at me. I'm only one. You ain't got no tea time. You don't even know how to play golf. You don't even know how to spell golf. So with that, thank you guys for joining me today. Thank you for joining me today. Great day, great insight. This is what we do every Monday. I've given you some fish to keep on your list. We've analyzed what's going on in the market. We know that the big thing is going to be NVDA. Again, if you haven't watched Ryan's video last week, please go do that if you haven't already. It's on the YouTube channel, and tomorrow I will do an in-depth analysis prior to NVIDIA's earnings on Wednesday. All right. Thank you for the $10 super chat as well, CB. Totally appreciate that. Really, 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 really do. With that, gotta go. Adios. Arrivederci. Ciao. Au revoir. Sayonara. Aloha to all my peeps in Hawaii. Praying for people all over the world. Remember, folks, help each other out. If we do more of that, we'll be a better society. Odabu. Bom dia. Salam. Shalom. Namaste. Yasu. Train. Till next time, folks. See ya.